Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about how to pick the right sewing machine for the job. I have multiple kinds of sewing machines and they all have their own special purpose, and that's why I have so many. This is a Kenmore. It's been around a long time, probably about 20 years, but it's always been good, always stitches well. When you're buying a sewing machine, it'll state how many stitches. Now this says 12 stitches. On this Kenmore, the 12 stitches means a combination of straight and zigzag, equaling up to 12 different kinds of stitches. This one in the front is one kind of runway sewing machine. And what a runway sewing machine is, it's basically something to real quick fix, like they would do at a fashion show, where all you need is a straight or zigzag stitch. That's all you need. This particular runway sewing machine has multiple stitches. However, it does not have a power foot or the power pedal. Let me come around the other side. Okay, so my Kenmore, my old Kenmore, this is the pedal. You can see it's old, but it's been around, and it shows stitch length, has the reverse lever here, whereas the runway, it has this particular pedalless, I'll say. It doesn't have a pedal. It has 66 stitches, 66 different kinds of stitches. This is really great for if you want to do, say, fancy stitching on quilting. The great thing about this, even though you don't have the ability to use your foot gauging your speed, you have a lever down in the front that shows a turtle and it shows a rabbit. So you can have it really, really slow as if you were hand stitching it for decorative stitching it, or you can have it go fast once you get really good at it. What you do is this one has the buttons on the top, and you correspond the number with the type of stitch you want to do. To stop and start it, you have a stop and start button, kind of like an embroidery machine has. Kenmore is your basic one, great machine for beginners. That way you have just straight and zigzag stitch. Now the Brother machine here in the front, this is a Brother runway, LS 2300 PRW. This is kind of like the Kenmore. It has straight stitch and zigzag stitch. It has 10 or 12 stitches. It gives you different widths, but really in fact it's two types of stitches, just 12 different widths of it. So you'll have 0 through 5 here and 0 through 4. This one does not have a built-in buttonholer, but you can do buttonholes with it. It does have the power foot, so that you can gauge your speed on it. It has a reverse lever in the front, whereas the other runway, you can actually do, it has a 4-step buttonholer on it. I also have another Singer that does basically everything. It has all the fancy stitches that you can imagine. I just couldn't bring it out here to display. So my main sewing machine has a 4-step buttonholer in it, automatic threader. Those things are great. As a matter of fact, this runway one actually has an automatic threader underneath. The other thing you want to invest in is the carrier. I have a carrier for this Kenmore. I have one that's a basic one you can get at any store that sells sewing machines. You can get them at Walmart. You can get them at Joann Fabrics. I'm not sure if Hobby Lobby has the cases, but I do know Joann Fabrics and Walmart do. Now this one retails for about 50 bucks, but that's where Facebook is great. You can go on there and there are people who don't sew anymore, which is a shame. It's kind of like a lost art, and that's kind of why I do it. and you can find these for like 20 bucks. You can find a great runway sewing machine either with the foot pedal or without for very reasonable prices. As a matter of fact, that's where I got this machine, and I got this machine also on the marketplace. So when it comes to fancier machines, you want to do embroidery. I really like, I have a Brother embroidery machine, which I'll share with you at some point. I just upgraded to the kind where you can download from the internet and get your designs that way. The great thing about the older sewing machines, to change the light bulb when it burns out, all you had to do is pop that little door open, there's the light inside, and you just pop it out, put a new one in. The other great thing about sewing machines nowadays is the feet are interchangeable. Pretty much so. I don't have a Janome, so I can't tell you about Janome sewing machines right now. I'll have to look at those next time I'm in the store. But the presser feet on the bottom of the sewing machines are interchangeable. I can take this foot and put it on this machine, and I can take this foot and put it on this machine. So it fits all of my machines. So like I have zipper foot. Zipper foot will fit all of them. And that's the great thing about the modern day sewing machine. So when you're looking for a sewing machine, the best brand name I can tell you, the one that's been around the longest, is Kenmore for me. Kenmore actually was originally white sewing machine. You can still find white sewing machines that are for sale that say white on them, but Kenmore sewing machine is a white sewing machine. I did some research on that one. My first choice was always a Kenmore. I've always had a Kenmore, and I will keep this Kenmore till it dies. But my main sewing machine right now is a Singer, and I'm very happy with it. Brother is my preference is Kenmore, Brother, then Singer. But the Singer that I have has all the features that I need, and I'm just as happy with it as my Brother's sewing machine. So this is part of my collection of sewing machines. This is 3 out of the 5 that I have. I also have an overlock serger that I just acquired, and I'm loving it. But what's really nice about this particular pedalless runway sewing machine is it has a stitch on it that does the same thing as an overlock machine. Basically what I'm talking about is overlock serger, same thing. It means you finish off the ends of your fabric so that it doesn't fray for you. Satins fray. You want to serge those. You want to serge any fabric that's going to, fray up like that. And if you don't have a serger and you don't have the money to invest in one, then look for a sewing machine that has a stitch that it looks like, it's actually a smocking stitch. And a smocking stitch will do the same thing for you as far as keeping your fabric from fraying. So I hope this has been helpful for you in figuring out how to pick out a sewing machine for diving into the sewing world. I'm having a ball at it. If you have any questions about machines and I can answer them, I'd be more than happy. Also, suggestions and any videos you might want to see, just drop me a message, like and share my page. I'd really appreciate it. This is my retirement coming up, and this is all I'm going to be doing, and I'm having a blast, and I want you all to enjoy learning the art of sewing as well, and I'll be more than pleased as punch to be instrumental in helping you take on that endeavor. So thank you so much for watching Sew What and More Creations, and everyone have a blessed day and have a wonderful Christmas.